Good morning, Auburn. Hello, and hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn's premier home for student-run radio since 1971. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside my colorman, Davis Carroll. We'd like to welcome in our listeners and viewers from across the Auburn and Opelika Megaplex and around the world, however you may be tuning in today, whether that be on your terrestrial radio antenna, through the information superhighway at weglfm.com, or tuning in after the fact by listening to us on transistor.fm, listening to our podcast, or watching us on Eagle Eye TV. We are happy to have you here in the booth with us for Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show. And now, of course, we are broadcasting live from the Bradley-based and WEGL studios in the Harold Belton Student Center on the campus of Auburn University, where it is a lovely 77 degrees outside this fine Wednesday morning. Welcome to Compact Discourse. We wish you a most sincere buenos dias, guten morgen, bon matinee, or a good old-fashioned American good morning as we get on with the show. Davis, how are you feeling today on this heyday, I might add? How is that making you feel about today?
I will admit I feel a little tired, but other than that, I'm feeling good. Only have one class today. Maybe go see about getting a name tag for Heyday, participate in it. But yeah, nothing else really happened today for me. What about you?
I think we can overcome just a little bit tired. I'm right there with you, and I think we can power through. I'm excited about today, excited about Heyday, one of the best Auburn traditions. So go out there, and if you're able, come out and celebrate it with us. Right after this show's over, I'm heading on over to the campus green space to take part in the festivities until 2 p.m., and the rest of WEGL will be out there playing some music, having some fun. I think I saw a bouncy castle getting inflated when I walked by this morning, so plenty of excitement to check out over on the campus green as a Heyday gets well underway. I think it officially kicks off at 10 a.m., but go ahead and get your name tags now. I'm wearing mine, slightly out of frame, but rest assured I am wearing one. At this point, I would like to remind our audience that if any point in the next 2 hours you feel so inclined to ask us a question, drop a hot take, or in the highly unlikely event that we get something wrong, if you want to correct us, you can go ahead and call in at 334-844-9345. That's 334-844-WEGL. You can also send us a tweet at CDiscAU, that's CDISCAU, and our dedicated team of call screeners will handle your inquiry, and we'll take care of it. So thank you to everyone who has interacted with the show this week. We really like to see that coming across the Twitter feed, so go ahead and give us a follow, and tweet at us if you have any concerns or questions or comments, or if you want us to talk about something, if you want us to inform us of something. All of that is welcome over on the Twitter page. That is, of course, at CDISCAU on Twitter. Look for the same orange and blue Compact Discourse logo that you're listening to today. All right, we can jump right into things. There's plenty to talk about WEGL this week, not only going on in the music and entertainment world, but also in the sports world. It's a big week for WEGL, mid-October week. Plenty of things exciting happening, including a exciting lineup of shows in the evening. We've got one more hour with Aaron starting at 5. We got Happy Days with Jay starting at 6. You got the Woodstock Hour with DJ P starting at 7. And you got Cheetah Print with DJ CD starting at 8. So 4 full hours of senior DJ curated music coming up this afternoon from 5 to 9 p.m. That is a WEGL Wednesday, of course, so you aren't going to want to miss that. Plenty of other stuff to get to as well, including the sports weekend we have coming up here at WEGL. We have 3 sports broadcasts at WEGL this week, which is pretty exciting stuff, including an exhibition game with Tuskegee is coming up this Friday evening. Auburn baseball will be taking on Tuskegee in their fall scrimmage, so look out for that one. You can head over to Planton Park if you would like to see that one. You can also listen right here on WEGL 91.1 FM for play-by-play and color of that game. There's also going to be Auburn volleyball against Missouri that is coming up on Saturday in the afternoon. I believe 4:30 is when that one tips off. And then there's also going to be, what is there? Oh, yes, there's soccer on Sunday against the Gators of Florida. That one is going to kick off at 12 o'clock noon. So all three of those broadcasts, Auburn baseball versus Tuskegee, Auburn volleyball versus Missouri, and Auburn soccer versus Florida, are all going to be right here, how you're listening to this, WEGL 91.1 FM, on both the website live stream and the terrestrial radio, if that's how you are listening to us today. So be sure to check those out. The sports department does a great job putting these broadcasts together. And I think this is the first time in over 2 years we've had 3 broadcasts in one weekend. So it will be quite the spectacle to behold. And we've also got Auburn hockey coming up in the next week. I think the home opener is the bye week for Auburn football, which is the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of October. So be on the lookout for that. Auburn hockey is coming soon. We've also got a great show about hockey that is Kicking Ice that records at 3 p.m. every Tuesday here on WEGL, hosted by the great Daniel Locke, who you may remember from some previous episodes of Compact Discourse. We've also got Eamon Smith, who is probably the guy who knows the most about hockey out of anyone in the state of Alabama, if you can believe that. So Eamon and Daniel, we like to call them the Locksmith.
Yeah.
If you combine their last names. They do a great job over at Kicking Ice. I think they just recorded their 3rd episode yesterday, and yesterday was the start of the NHL season as well. So with Auburn hockey and NHL both about to ready to drop the puck, I think that was a spectacular episode from those guys, both new to WEGL. So welcoming them to the WEGL family of shows where every game lives, as we like to say, including ice hockey on the plains. So check that one out, Kicking Ice. It's one of the best WEGL shows, even if it's only had 3 episodes so far. We really enjoy it over here at Compact Discourse. So let's jump right into things. I think we'll just preview what we're going to talk about on the show today. Plenty of sports to talk about and plenty of other things that aren't sports to talk about. We've got the NHL kicking off last night, of course, with a doubleheader. NHL back on ESPN for the first time in 16 years, so exciting to be able to bring that into a whole new bunch of people's lives who don't normally watch hockey. A lot of people get ESPN, so exciting to have that audience get expanded just a little bit. We also had playoff baseball as 2 more teams were able to punch their ticket to the championship series. All that's left is a showdown out west, a Game 5. We'll get to that later in the show. NBA preseason continues to roll on. We've got some NBA headlines to discuss. Obviously, we have to keep on moving with the John Gruden situation as that continues to develop, and then plenty of other things to get to as well. As pretty much as October rolls on, every major professional sport has something going on, whether that be just off-season chatter or intense playoff matchups. And we've also got some Auburn sports to talk about as well as we get ready to just a few days away now. I think, well, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks away from Auburn basketball tipping off. I got to visit with Coach Pearl and the team last night, so it was a lot of fun. It got me very excited for the season, so I'd love to talk about that a little bit, especially maybe even Alan Flanagan's injury and how that's going to affect the team as he is set to come back in mid-December. Maybe we can even look at the schedule and see what the best games coming up in Auburn basketball are going to be. And we got Auburn football making the trip over to Fayetteville, Arkansas. They are going to kick off at 11 a.m. Saturday the 16th, trying to knock off the ranked Razorback team coming off its tough loss against Ole Miss last weekend. Auburn coming off a loss as well, so both teams hungry for the fight. Auburn looking to play spoiler in this one and serve up the Hogs 2 straight losses in SEC play. So that is what we got to get to later on in the show. Davis, are you excited about a Wednesday, a hump day? Has this been a good week for you? Bad week?
So far it's been pretty good. Going to have a relaxing day hopefully today. Only the 1 class like I mentioned. Thinking about maybe going to Academy, maybe perusing around. Seeing what I can find.
New outfit for Saturday?
Maybe some cleats. I do need to get a new shirt for Saturday, so I might also go to the Atelier. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. It might be cold on Saturday up in Arkansas.
I could be wearing this jacket right here. Also, I have another jacket I might pull out, another Auburn one.
Could be.
Never before seen Davis wardrobe. part. I don't know, just it's part of the wardrobe, but you've never seen it before.
Okay,
Get ready to be excited, but it is too small for me, so I might have to donate it to you at some point.
Okay, well, it might be too big for me.
we need a friend right in between.
We do need a friend that's like our average size that we can share our clothes with. All right, we're going to head to a quick break, and when we come back, plenty to get to here on Compact Discourse. We might just jump right into playoff baseball because I cannot wait to talk about it any longer. My Atlanta Braves are on their way to their second straight National League Championship Series, and they don't know who they're playing yet, as Game 5 up in Oracle Park is going to take place later on this week between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Los Gigantes of San Francisco. Exciting stuff coming up on Compact Discourse. You don't want to miss it. WEGL 91.1 FM.
These are the moments you remember.
The kick is good! Auburn wins!
These are the sounds you celebrate.
Fastball driven. Deep left center field. David Ross, you have company!
Whether it's the stadium, the arena, or the ballpark.
Auburn 75. Kentucky 70. I think I'll storm the court. There goes Davis. Oh my God.
Your home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green, green. Make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
91.1 WEGL FM, Auburn University.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Carr, alongside Davis Carroll on this wonderful heyday here on the Plains. Happy heyday to everybody listening out here on the campus of Auburn University. And if you're not on the campus of Auburn University, rest well assured that the tradition is alive and well. Heyday is in full swing, and name tags abound as everyone's getting ready to greet each other as part of the Auburn family today, including big festivities out on the campus green space from 10 to 2 p.m. So go ahead, and if you're not busy, come over and join us over on the green space, 10 to 2. WEGL will be out there, as well as plenty of free food and probably T-shirts and dancing and drinks and all of the fun stuff that comes along with a heyday on a beautiful day like today. 65 degrees and sunny is what my weather report is saying right now. And after a beautiful walk into campus today, so can confirm it is a lovely day to be having a heyday. All right, well, let's jump right into some playoff baseball, as it is mid-October, which means it's nearly time for the championship series. And who will be present in the championship series? Well, we already know that the Boston Red Sox came away with a big win, actually 3 big wins over the Tampa Bay Rays in their divisional series after Tampa Bay handedly won Game 1 down in Tropicana Field. Boston was able to steal Game 2 away by going yard on pretty much every Tampa Bay pitcher they had available. Series shifted back to Fenway, where the Boston Red Sox win Game 3 in extra innings off of an unlucky bounce off the bat and then the wall and then the outfielder's shoulder into the bullpen. An unlucky bounce, to say the least, for Kevin Kiermaier and the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as Yandy Diaz, who was sitting on first base. And then in Game 4, you had high drama as the Boston Red Sox quickly chased away the Tampa Bay Rays starting pitcher, only to have that lead evaporate and a tie game into the bottom of the ninth inning, where the Boston Red Sox and Kike Hernandez were victorious after a walk-off sacrifice fly. So first ticket punch there were the Boston Red Sox a few days ago as they're making their way to their first championship series since 2018 when they won the World Series and the pennant to boot. So let's see who else will be meeting them. It will be the Houston Astros after defeating the Chicago White Sox 10-1 pretty anticlimactically yesterday in a Game 4 of this series. This series is actually a World Series matchup, a rematch from 2005, if you can believe that, before the Astros made their move over to the American League. So unfamiliar playoff foes here, as the Houston Astros beat the Chicago White Sox by an order of magnitude. After the White Sox took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second, it was all Astros for the rest of the day. Rodon gets the loss after 2 2/3 innings of work, and Garcia gets the win with a successful save for the Houston Astros. And that's it. We'll have Houston Astros and Boston Red Sox in the American League Championship Series, a rematch from 2018, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll look into it.
Sounds right to me.
All right, thoughts on the White Sox? I know we were very excited about their pitching coming into this series, and they gave up a crooked number in pretty much every inning.
Yeah, made me look pretty silly, the White Sox. I was talking big about their pitching. I mean, on paper, they have a phenomenal pitching staff, but it just really didn't come together for this playoff series. Rodon got shelled yesterday. Lance Lynn, not much better the other day. Giolito, maybe better than them too, but still not good because obviously they got routed. But, I think the Red Sox might have a challenge on their hands with the high-scoring Astros. Is it coming to Fenway first, or is it going to whatever the World Astros field's called?
Minute Maid Park, or as I like to call it, the Juice Box. Astros won their division with 95 wins, so I think they have a better record, but keep that number in your head, 95.
95.
The Red Sox have 92 wins. So, yes, it will be heading to Minute Maid for games 1 and 2.
All right. Maybe look out, make sure all the trash cans are secure there. Obviously, old joke. But, for some people, it never gets old.
Yeah.
It kind of got old for me a while
joke,
ago.
So.
Even big jokes get old.
It's not like it was a minor thing.
Oh, it definitely was not. But even big jokes get old. I remember you saw the... Never mind.
Okay, Davis.
Look. I'm all for letting jokes live their life, but sports fans aren't known for letting jokes run their course.
Yes, sports fans aren't exactly known for their high comedy IQ. All right, so this will be the Astros' fifth straight American League Championship Series, if you can believe that. They won the World Series in 2017, asterisk. They lost the American League Championship Series in 2018 to the eventual champion Boston Red Sox. They lost the World Series in 2019 to the Washington Nationals. They lost the championship series to the Tampa Bay Rays last year, and now we shall see what transpires in the American League Championship Series. The Astros' fifth straight in 2021 as they will be taking on the Boston Red Sox. And looking over at the Boston Red Sox, they also have been a very successful playoff team as well so far in this century. They, after a 2-year break from the playoff in 2019 and 2020, but the previous 3 years before that, 2016, in 2017, they were in the American League Divisional Series. They lost both times. 2018, they won the whole shebang, of course, defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers in 5 games. So not as much playoff experience recently for these Boston Red Sox, but they do have some, and they have a lot more than the Yankees, if you can believe that. So that is what we can expect out of the American League side of the bracket. We got plenty of offense on both sides and not amazing pitching, if I'm being honest with you. We've got the Houston Astros team that can score a lot of points, but they don't really have their Garrett Coles anymore, if that makes sense.
Or their Verlander, who is out still.
Mm-hmm. So they're kind of working with spare parts. I mean, Garcia, he's great, but he's no,
Do they still have, oh my goodness, what's his name?
Looking it up, looking at the desk chart. Lance McCullers Jr.,
the one that you don't like, that's weird.
Frambler Valdez,
Not Frambler Valdez.
Luis Garcia, Jose Arquidi, and Jake Odorizzi.
Zach Greinke.
Zach Greinke, I don't think so.
I think they do.
Why isn't he on the depth chart?
Maybe he's hurt, but he's on the team.
I'm going to go to baseballreference.com, the best website ever.
Good take. Yeah, he's on the Astros currently. He had a 3.41 ERA this year. Oh, no, that's overall. Oops. Goofy.
Crazy. Let's see.
Any news?
I really can't. He's
very elusive.
He is.
I'm on Wikipedia and it's giving me the
His
runaround.
2021 ERA, got it right here. 1.2 wins over replacement, 11-6 record, 4.16 ERA. He played 30 games.
Hey, that's pretty good.
1.17 WHIP. So okay, Greinke's alive and well, but I'm wondering what the heck happened to him because he's not on their depth chart right now. Zach Greinke.
He said he made his debut last night out of the bullpen.
Wonder why he isn't starting.
I don't know. Maybe he's getting old. They just don't want to start him anymore. But I mean, Greinke's still good. Obviously, age isn't really. Actually, I'm gonna walk that take back. I'm not even gonna finish it. I think Greinke's good. I'm not sure if he'll get the start on the bump anytime soon if they're delegating him to bullpen.
He had a neck injury, which is what put him on the IL.
Okay, so he's working out the bullpen
He's
right now.
having a, quote, bout with neck soreness.
A bout?
Yeah.
He's really fighting it. Wow.
He's going through it.
That's a fun way to say he's having an injury.
Yeah, he's having a bout with a neck injury.
I wonder who's winning that one.
It's quite the showdown. Wonder if they're going to go 5 games.
I do agree with your take on the pitching staff overall, though.
And then taking a look over at the Boston Red Sox roster, it's hard to find some standout pitchers over there as well.
They have Chris Sale, who's obviously the big one.
Right.
And then other than that, I could not name you another one of theirs. And I'm sure Daniel and Bay wouldn't be happy with me if they heard me say that.
And you're starting 5. You got Chris Sale. You got Nathan Eovaldi.
Oh yeah,
he started the wild card game, so obviously they trust him. Eduardo Rodriguez, Nick Pivetta, and Tanner Houck is rounding out your starting 5 for the Boston Red Sox. So this won't be exactly a Cy Young showdown, but I think it will be entertaining for the masses, as expect a lot of home runs to be hit in this one.
Hey, who doesn't like that? At the end of the day, home runs are fun.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be a fun series. These are 2 teams that don't like each other. 2 very vindictive fan bases, I think. So it'll be a rematch of a previous ALCS, and I think it's about all you can ask for in a exciting 7-game playoff series. Hope it goes 7. There's nothing more exciting than a Game 7, so very excited to see the American League side of the bracket get into it here coming up. Waiting on times for that one. Because,
okay. Say your thing.
Oh, no, I'm just saying I don't think we're sure when that game's going to be yet.
Okay, so here's the thing. Which team's city would you rather be caught in? After a World Series win. Your team won, let's say the Braves won, and you're either caught in Philadelphia or Boston.
Okay, well, hold on, yeah. I thought you were framing this as Houston versus Boston.
I could have, but I figured I'd choose the most two ravenous fan bases
Boston
first.
and Philly are two, definite. Those are the number one and two.
Late at night outside the stadium, which one would you rather be outside of?
Man, I got to go with Boston. Like, I saw after the Eagles won that Super Bowl, Boston's become desensitized to winning. But, like, if the Phillies won,
the Braves are playing, even though that wouldn't happen, of course.
Okay.
And you're at the game, and the Braves just won it all, let's just say, and you walk out the stadium.
That's what I'm saying, is that, I don't know, the Phillies, or the Philadelphia, the Boston game, they think they'll come back,
Okay, I get what you mean.
So that's what I mean. Actually, we do have a time for Red Sox Astros. Game 1 will be October 15th, 7 p.m. first pitch on Fox. So look forward to that one. And on the other side of a break, we're going to talk about the National League side of the bracket, including Atlanta punching their ticket to the National League Championship Series, and San Francisco and Los Angeles continuing their Old West showdown to see who will be the 100-plus win team to make it to a championship series this year, as they are separated by one game in the standings pretty much all year long, and they're separated by just one game here in the playoffs, as it's all going to come down to a game at Oracle Park later on this week. So look forward to that. 2 minutes, we'll be back. Compact Discourse.
If you've been working, you've already proven yourself in ways you may not even notice. Managing your time, communicating effectively, and working as part of a team are key skills that employers value. At alabamaworks.com, you can find out how to build on your experience to up your game and get the job you really want, because it's out there. Start your new success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Watch out for people riding bikes. It's not just courteous. Now it's the law. The new 3 Feet for Safety Act requires that drivers give at least 3 feet of space when passing bicyclists. More and more people are commuting and touring Alabama on bicycles. As the number of cyclists on our roads increases, so does the need for safe driving. So slow down and give cyclists 3 feet of room. Follow the rules of the road and watch out for each other. Learn more at drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
WEGL Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll here in the booth with you today. It is the bottom of the hour, which means it is time for your Auburn, Alabama weather report for this beautiful October morning. It is 66 degrees and sunny here on the plains. 83 degrees is your high, 61 degrees is your low. Very minimal chance of rain as we look ahead to the rest of the day. We got a 72-degree morning coming up and an 81-degree afternoon, so just about the same as yesterday. We got some clouds rolling in this evening. We'll bring a 6% chance of rain along with them. It's going to cool way off to about 64 degrees tonight, so look forward to that. Enjoy a nice autumn night here on the plains, and try to stay dry as well, as it doesn't look like it will rain, but there's always a chance. monitoring the weather across the country. There is going to be isolated T-storms in the Dallas area as well as the Fargo, North Dakota area. They seem to be making their way from west to east across the country, so plenty of rain to be looking at in the future, hoping it dissipates before it makes its way over here to the Piedmont region. All right, 96% humidity today. UV index is just a 1, so you can lay off the sunscreen. Winds are going to be light and variable, and a 10-mile visibility if you make your way on top of the Haley Center to check out the surrounding counties. All right, let's jump right back into the sports. That was, of course, your War Eagle weather update.
War Eagle weather.
All right, we've got sports to talk about, and those sports just so happen to be playoff baseball, as it was. The Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman was the hero yesterday as he hits the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning to put the Atlanta Braves on top of the Milwaukee Brewers. The so-called best closer in baseball does indeed give up a tank to the former MVP of the National League. A real golf swing from Freddie to put it over the left field wall, and that made all the difference as the Braves come away with a Game 4 victory. They get 3 straight victories after dropping the first game to Milwaukee in American Family Life Park. I don't know. Miller Park is what I like to call it still. So that is what it transpired yesterday in the Battery in the A, as we like to call it. So Milwaukee Brewers season is over, sadly, if you're a Milwaukee Brewers fan or sympathizer, and the Atlanta Braves will reach their 2nd straight National League Championship Series. I believe it is the 5th straight year the Braves have gone to the playoffs. Opening Baseball Reference again.
Baseball Reference is good to find out anything. Baseball Reference is kind of the best sports
literally
website.
Anything. And there's there's one for every sport as well for you football.
I do like basketball reference, so I'm a fan of it.
So, if I look at the Braves,
what's the word?
We can see, yes, they've been to 4 straight playoff series.
Boom.
Or four straight playoffs. Starting in 2018, they lost in the National League Divisional Series to the Los Angeles Dodgers, 3-1. Oh, yes, of course, they lost the National League Divisional Series in 2019 to the St. Louis Cardinals after a disappointing Game 5 in Atlanta. They lost the National League Championship Series last year to the Los Angeles Dodgers after blowing a 3-1 lead. And we shall see this year, as they have won their League Divisional Series for now. But, things can always go awry once you hit that 7-game series. 14 straight playoff appearances had the Braves back in the day, if you can believe that.
Back in the 90s? When was that?
That was, I believe, it was from, or it got, there was 94 where they had to take a break because of the strike.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was from 1991 to 2005. They made it to 14 straight playoffs, and they only won 1 World Series in that stretch, if you can believe that.
It's embarrassing.
There's a lot of wasted talent on those teams.
Speaking of strikes, I did ask Hillman something one time. He never did answer, but I'd like to get your take on it real quick.
Okay.
I asked him, do you think the CBA could affect the MLB playoffs? Hillman never did respond to that, so I guess that's a no from him. But the agreement, the player agreement, I saw something about it. I guess I don't have enough to really ask the question.
No, I mean, but I see what you're saying. Is the current MLB playoff format conducive to what the players want?
Yeah.
Do you have it? Can you weigh in on that, and maybe it'll inform my opinion? What is lacking? There has to be a balance in the playoffs between keeping things interesting for the fans, and because the TV people want money.
Yeah.
Also, you have to keep the players happy too. And I think the big thing, I think Fox would love to take a week off between the regular season and the playoffs starting, but the players do not want that at all. The players, managers, coaches, GMs, they don't want that because they know how important momentum is in baseball. And the fact that the regular season ends and then basically 2 days later we're playing playoff baseball, I think that's what makes baseball one of the more intriguing sports because you punch your ticket in football as early as before New Year's, and then you're not playing a playoff series until 2 weeks later. So, or a playoff game, and then the same can be said for basketball and hockey, considering how long those playoffs take 2 months to get over with. But the baseball playoffs are so tightly wound up and compact into just the month of October that there's a lot of push and pull between what the players want and what the networks and fans want. So how do you feel that the current format is catering to both of those parties?
So the big thing that the players seem to want, I just pulled up an article about it. Well, it just disappeared. But it's been rumored since around August when they were kind of having the debates. That doesn't sound right. The negotiations is that the players are talking about wanting to have a 14-team playoff, so that teams like the Dodgers don't get delegated to a wild card game and potentially get knocked out for having the winningest season ever, or most winning.
Winningest?
That sounds right. That's the big thing. But I would say, I feel like for Fox, whoever's broadcasting it, expanded playoff would probably help them too. That'd be advantageous for both of them. That'd be more games for them to broadcast, obviously more money to make. But if that does lead to worse games, quote unquote, because like the drop off from the Dodgers, Giants, and Cardinals to the Padres. Hate to say that since I'm a Padres fan, and the Padres are good; they can win any game. But like the drop off from the top few teams down is kind of big in a lot of the conferences.
But with as long and arduous as the MLB season is, you do see some teams, completely giving up by the All-Star break. So I think what expanding the playoffs does is that it keeps clubs more competitive for longer because there's more opportunities to be grabbed. And I think that makes the trade deadline more interesting because sometimes you just see teams have a fire sale because they completely give up on the season.
Like the Cubs did this year.
Right, and maybe if there were 4 more spots to gobble up in the National League, an extreme example, of course, but the Cubs might have been a little more inclined to hold on to their players. And that's a thing to consider the players too, because the trade deadline is what affects the players the most in the sport, and how many teams make the playoffs has a direct impact on the trade deadline. Back in the day, there were 4 playoff teams, and then it's slowly been the ratchet only turns one way. You never take teams out of the playoffs, So, but I mean, back in the day, can you imagine what the trade deadlines with the modern media cycle we have now and the communication lines we have now, what the fire sales would look like if we still had the same 4-team playoff format we were rolling with for I think until 1994.
Do you think that with a 14, I do think that's a good point about the trade deadline, which I would love to see. Baseball has some of the craziest trades of any of the sports leagues. NBA is another one of those. NFL, I'm disappointed in their trading, to be honest. But with a 14-team playoff or whatever they decide to do, because I think this playoff probably does need playoff format does need a little tweaking at this moment. What are the cons exactly of the 14 team? Because it doesn't, from how we're saying it, it sounds pretty good to me, but I'm sure there's issues there somewhere.
Well, I think it's harder. I think 14 teams would facilitate an extra round of the playoffs, and then you'd be playing into the second week of November probably at that point.
Hey, it's more baseball though. More
it
money
is more
for
baseball.
the league.
I do think the other leagues, namely the Shield, as it were, really enjoys their that baseball kind of walks off the stage right when their season begins to get intriguing.
That's fair. Maybe another thing, I'm not sure how true this would be, but maybe teams that aren't as likely to win the World Series just don't really like. Yeah, obviously, they would be more competitive if they have a chance to make it. But like, if you're the 14th seed and you're just kind of there, like maybe you don't want to fight all the way to the World Series when you could go ahead and start training for the next season.
Yeah, and then it's interesting that baseball of the 4 major leagues has the fewest playoff participation by percentage, you have 10 of the 30 clubs going to the playoffs, and 4 of those clubs have the potential to play in just one game with the way the wild card game works. Which with a game like baseball, with as much variability as it has, it's intriguing that it's one of the. I mean, can you imagine if the 1 in 8, or I don't know who would do it in NBA, but if they just played one game to determine who gets to go to the playoffs.
That's what they did basically in the play-in tournament for 2020, which I think they are planning on doing it again. But a lot of the players were not a fan of that because your whole season just gets relegated to one game. And obviously baseball and basketball are some of the games where anybody can beat anybody on any day, even if one team's better than the other. And that's one of the reasons why a one game or winner-takes-all game isn't the best for either of those sports. Like football, that's different because the better team's usually the better team.
You gear up for one game.
Yeah.
It's impossible to play a 3-game series in football.
But for basketball or baseball, really, it's just like it could go either way, and the better team may take 2 games to really get going, and then they'll sweep them the rest of the way like the Bucks did in the finals this year.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a number of times that, the 8 seed knocks off the 1 seed in game 1 and then just gets 4-0'd the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And if that had been a 1-game series, who knows how different things could be. We've got plenty to talk about here on Compact Discourse. We're talking about playoff formats. If you got any opinion on the playoff formats, go ahead and let us know. 16 of 32 teams make it in the NBA and NHL, 14 of 32 in the NFL, 10 of 30 in the MLB. Something's got to change. We'll be back in just a little bit.
The Delta variant cases of COVID-19 might be more infectious and more transmissible, but there is something we each can do to limit the spread of coronavirus. Wear a mask. Whether it's homemade or manufactured, embellished or plain, wearing a face mask or covering in public, in addition to social distancing and regular hand washing, is one of the easiest ways to protect yourself and others from coronavirus. According to the CDC, wearing a mask is an important part of a layered prevention approach that not only helps to limit cases of COVID-19 infections in communities where vaccination rates are low, but doing so can also limit the emergence of future COVID-19 variants. By wearing a mask or face covering, especially in crowded indoor spaces or busy areas with limited ventilation or poor air quality, you can do your part to keep yourself, your family, and others around you safe. For more information, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov. That's alabamapublichealth.gov.
COVID-19 changed everything, and good information has never been more important. There are jobs available right now. Get the facts about what it takes to get one and how you can take action. Use your time to get prepared for the job you need and the career you want. We'll all get through this with information and resources to be ready for what comes next. Your success story is our success story. Get started at alabamaworks.com.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
I want that wall-crawling arachnid prosecuted. I want him strung up by his web. I want WEGL Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll. Welcoming you into the show, I spy Chief Engineer Luke Walker hanging out outside the studio. Looks like he's getting ready to set up for Heyday coming up right here, right now. Auburn University, 10/13/21 is your Heyday for the year. So get your name tags out and get excited for this Auburn tradition. Luke is going to go set up on the green space where we'll be playing some music, having some fun, some giveaways. I think I saw a bouncy castle out there earlier, so be sure to go ahead and check that one out. If you're not busy or you're just walking around on campus today, you can hang out with us for just a few minutes or the whole 4 hours if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you out there for Heyday, an Auburn tradition unlike any other. I got my name tag on right now, so excited to go ahead and hang out there after the show today.
Great way to meet new people. Think about that if you're a freshman.
Great way to be in the yearbook as well. The Glom will be out there snapping pictures, as always. I've been in the yearbook, I think, all 4 years I've been at Auburn so far, just by dint of, making myself seen on Heyday. So that's a great way to get yourself in the Glom, is make an appearance at Heyday.
I think that photo of me that got, appeared into the yearbook I don't remember taking might have been on Heyday. I got sent a photo, I was like, what? What was that taken? I have no memory of it freshman year.
Yeah, I think the Glom should really just look into getting a facial scan of everybody and using some high-tech 3D modeling technology to not even have to take any pictures anymore. Just manufacture them.
They're going to start, ripping photos off people's phones, and you're going to, check. It's how's that picture from my birthday party on there? It's going to be crazy. But it'll be authentic.
It will be.
Very candid.
Very candid. All right, we're jumping right back into our discussion of playoffs just as a concept. But, we got to talk about the specifics as well. It is, of course, going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants are the only two teams left with an undetermined fate in our MLB playoffs so far. All right, this is coming from Alden Gonzalez over at ESPN. Walker Buehler could feel where the momentum was going. A loss with Max Scherzer on the mound in Game 3 would mean the Dodgers would face elimination in Game 4 of the NLDS without an ideal option to start for them. Buehler needed to take the ball and pitch on short rest for the first time in his career. He volunteered the idea to the Dodgers' principal decision-maker after Julio Urias helped defeat the Giants in Game 2, then checked in with his teammates to, quote, make sure I wasn't being an idiot. They confirmed what Buehler already knew, and this is what needed to be done. It was something we all want to do all the time, Buehler said, but I felt that if things didn't go our way in Game 3, I would really feel weird about not pitching a game that we could lose the series. So Buehler was, of course, exactly what the Dodgers needed on Game 4, recording 13 outs, allowing 1 run, and departing with a lead just 4 days after starting Game 1 of the NLDS. The Dodgers went on to win this one 7-2 to force a decisive Game 5 on tomorrow night at Oracle Park and San Francisco, and Buehler added to his legacy as one of the premier big game pitchers in the big leagues. And that is the story out of the Chavez Ravine from last night. Los Angeles Dodgers win that one 7-2. Joe Kelly gets the win. Dishlafani gets the loss, I think is how you got to pronounce that.
Maybe Disclafani?
Disclafani?
I think you're saying it with too much of an accent.
Disclafani?
Disclafani.
Yeah, and I have too much of an accent. Trey Turner doubles to right center to score Corey Seager in the bottom of the first. Taylor hits a sac fly to get Bellinger over to second. That one scores Lux. Mookie Betts homers to right field, 388. Get your tape measure out. Buehler scores on that one, too. That makes it 4-0 Dodgers. Ruff grounds out to second for the Giants at the top of the fifth. Longoria scores on that one. Sends LaStella over to second and Duggar to third. But only 1 run scores there for the Giants. The Dodgers answer right back in the bottom of the fifth. Betts hits a sac fly to left, and Bellinger scores on that one. And in the 8th inning, Chris Bryant grounds out to third, and Crawford scores on that one, makes it 5-2. And then the dagger, Smith homers to center, 396 feet. Corey Seager scores on that one. So your totals for the night. Who was your best batter? I guess it was Bryant. He went 2 of 3. Nobody else had more than 1 hit, though. So a win by committee for the Dodgers last night.
They were, yeah. I was watching the beginning of that game, and the skipper just could not. Like, Corey Seager came up, and he had already had 2 hits, and they just swapped the pitcher out. They could not get their pitching down. Their pitching was all over the place, and the Dodgers really took advantage of it. They were getting hits like nobody's business last night.
I was looking at the Giants lineup. plenty of people had 2 hits on the Dodgers, including Mookie Betts, 2 of 4, Corey Seager, 2 of 5, Trey Turner, 2 of 5, Will Smith, 2 of 4, Lux, 2 for 2, and Cody Bellinger, 2 for 4. Well, this is interesting. Everyone who got a hit got another hit. No one had 1 hit in the game last night.
Interesting.
Feast or famine for the Los Angeles Dodgers, it appears.
It was like the 2nd or 3rd inning. I swear I might have been falling asleep because I was really tired, but I swear they went through their lineup twice. But they might not have, obviously, because each of them only has 4 or 5 at-bats.
That's right.
Maybe that was just 2 innings melded together in my mind.
I think you were a little too sleepy to be
overall, I do know that they were swapping out pitchers a lot. They had quite a few mound visits, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so the Dodgers use 6 pitchers in this one, including Walker Buehler, your starter. Joe Kelly comes in relief, and Bickford is your closer. And then over on the Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers. So 14 combined pitchers used in this game. Wow. The
Very
Dodgers,
early.
the Giants, only 2 of their pitchers worked for more than an inning. So they basically had a new pitcher every inning on the bump. Very interesting. Weird game. But that puts them in a weird position for Game 5, because I don't know how much rest any of these guys are going to have for both teams, you know?
What if we have 2 undecided pitchers like
using
the Rays
half
did?
your pen?
I feel like that's kind of necessary in a
the Giants
elimination game right
yeah,
there.
I guess so, but we're so
that might make more sense for the Giants to do that though, just to seal the win. But
Mhm.
at that point, the Dodgers already blown it open, so might as well just take it easy, get ready for your next game, save your pitcher's arms. But
yeah,
I'm not a manager.
That's why I'm not coaching. All right, Game 5 tomorrow, October 14th, 8 p.m. Central Time is your first pitch. That is going to be on TBS. Julio Urias for the Dodgers. He's 1-0 already this playoffs.
Got the most wins of any pitcher this season. Fun fact.
Oh, this in the regular season.
20, yeah. No, not the playoffs.
And he's pitched 5 innings. He's given up 3 hits, and he has 5 strikeouts and 1 walk so far this playoffs. And Logan Webb will be on the bump for the home team Giants. He is 1-0 this playoffs. He has a ERA of 0, which is a big confidence builder. No walks, 10 strikeouts, and 5 hits. Neither of these guys have given up a home run yet. I would like to see that change tomorrow afternoon. So
I'd like to see a few homos off Urias.
I'd like this one to just be an absolute derby.
That'd be fun.
A Game 5 pitcher battle is not always what I'd like to see, especially as my team has to play the winner of this series. So we'll see about all that and more. That's going to do it for Playoff Baseball Chat. We look forward to discussing this Dodgers-Giants game coming up tomorrow, but we're not going to be able to talk about the championship series at all until next Monday. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your eyes glued on your screen, watch some playoff baseball. You'll have a lot of fun, and we'll be back to break it down on Monday morning. But the show is not over. Plenty to get to, including NBA news, including some weird Kyrie Irving stuff, as always. JP is going to be joining us later on in the show, so don't go anywhere. This is Compact Discourse. We will be back in about 5 minutes, as it is, of course, the top of the hour, about 9 a.m., to continue discussing things with you. Go ahead and tweet at us at CDiscAU if you got any thoughts on the MLB playoffs. We'd love to hear from you. That's right, 5 minutes, we'll be back. I'm Jack Hardorn alongside Davis Carroll. Don't go anywhere.
It's the top of the hour, about 9 a.m., and you're still listening to WEGL 91.1 FM. Well, you made it this far. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. You've earned it.
But I really need a cup of joe, and if I don't get one, I think I might blow a gasket, and it's not a pretty sight.
We'll be right back in a few minutes with the second half of the show. Thank you so much for listening to Compact Discourse.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers train to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tossing food wrappers and soda cups can be expensive. That $7.99 value meal you threw out the window could cost you $500 in fines. And if you don't learn your lesson the first time, a second fine will cost you $1,000. Put garbage in its place. Throw away your trash, not your cash. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
You can beat your toughest opponent. You can beat your best time in the mile. You can beat that old largemouth bass. But one thing you should never try and beat is a train. If a train is approaching, don't risk your life trying to beat it, because beating the train is a deadly game. Drive safe, Alabama. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Expected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I improved my credit score.
You're kidding, right?
No.
How are we supposed to be the bad boys of electro-synth pop if you're out there being responsible? The band is about to be discovered. This is our year.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while now.
You think anyone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was worried about their credit score?
I never really thought that
Of course they weren't. Rock stars aren't supposed to think about that kind of stuff. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, write aggressively sensitive power ballads, start questionable fashion trends, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
All right, I thought maybe it was time to take control of my finances, you know? Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some goals.
A budget? Debt? Set some goals? Listen, I knew that we'd have our creative differences, but I was hoping they'd involve a little more scandal.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use, like, anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Check out my new time machine.
Does it work?
Hit the button.
Hey, it's Napoleon.
Oui. Check out the future.
Hey, you have a nice house. Why don't I?
You didn't save any money, buddy.
If only there was a way I could go back in time and fix that.
Yeah.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad.
How can we make Alabama a more beautiful state? By keeping our roads, highways, schools, and communities litter-free. It doesn't take much, but to think before you act. So what does the next generation say?
Pick it up, man.
Take pride in your school. Did you just litter? Clean it up, dude.
How can you make a difference? Adopt a mile. Join the Alabama Clean Campus program or join in the Spring Cleanup or Alabama Coastal Cleanup. And remember,
don't drop it on Alabama.
This message by People Against a Littered State, the ABA, ALDOT, and this station.
FM 91. The Mike Lee Morning Show.
WEGL Auburn.
Hey, welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hardorn, alongside Davis Carroll, welcoming you into the booth with us for the second half of the show. It is 9:05 a.m., so good morning and welcome in. Thank you for choosing to spend your Wednesday morning with us here at WEGL 91.1 FM. However you're listening to us today, I'd like to remind you that all of our previous episodes are available as a podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I choose Spotify just because I like the green. But, anywhere you get your podcast, just search for Compact Discourse. Look for that orange and blue CD logo. It's on the screen right now if you're watching us on YouTube. It is our Twitter profile picture if you follow us at CDiscAU. And it is a pretty cool logo if I do say so myself. So look for that by searching for Compact Discourse on your podcast player of choice. And you can listen to all of our previous episodes absolutely PSA break free. I edit them myself, so I can confirm. I take them out. So you can listen to yesterday's episode where Grayson and I talked about electrical fires, spiders having guns, and how well a HEPA filter can stand up against human ashes. So
what?
What
happened when I left?
Plenty of exciting things to discuss, as always, when Grayson joins the show. Speaking of joining the show, I think we have our beloved DJP, Juan Pablo, What's Up Auburn himself. It is JP will be joining us. DJP will be joining us for the later part of the show if the Tiger Transit cooperates with him.
He's going to come in fuming.
I'll put some money on that's his excuse. But we're welcoming him onto the show. He's going to tell you what's new on WEGL. I know we have a ton of new local music on the station now, so that's super cool. We've also got a great lineup of shows coming up today. You can head on over to WEGLFM.com to see our complete schedule. I think the schedule is getting a makeover this Friday as we have an official cutoff for new DJs. If you're listening out there and you'd like to join WEGL as an on-air personality, you have until Friday to do so before we close down shop for the semester. Of course, WEGL will continue to provide great content to you, but no new members or no new on-air personalities after October 15th. You can still come join the station, be a guest on Compact Discourse, be a guest on any show you would like, as long as it's okay with the host, of course. That is going to be October 15th is the cutoff for new DJs that have their own shows. But that will bring some good things along with it, including a finalized show schedule. We also might just be playing in the Harold Melton Student Center, if you can believe that. I know you've probably been enjoying the new music playing on the loudspeaker system at the Student Center while you've been waiting in line for your restaurant of choice. You might just be hearing WEGL playing out of the speakers here in just a little bit. So we're excited to announce that, and we are excited to join you for Heyday, a tradition unlike any other, dating back to since World War II. Auburn has been doing a Heyday every single year. You get your name tag, and you say hey to people. It's as easy as that. It's a great way to be a part of the Auburn family and it's a great way to get closer with the people you go to school with and who work here and everyone that's on campus on any given Wednesday like today. And it's a beautiful Wednesday to be going out and enjoying Hay Day. WEGL is going to be out on the campus green. I saw Chief Engineer Luke, friend of the show, setting up just a minute ago, so can confirm he's out there setting up the speakers right now. So we will be hanging out from 10 to 2 today out on the campus green, and Hay Day, of course, taking place all around campus. So just take a stroll around campus. I'm sure you will find some festivities, but the main event is going to be on the campus green, where I believe I saw a bouncy castle and SGA tents. So that can only mean one thing, and that's probably free food and a free T-shirt if you head on over that way, is what I can assume.
Do you still get your free T-shirts when available, or do you think you tapped out of that a while
I
ago?
have a hard time getting free T-shirts. Most free T-shirts are larges.
That's fair.
And
you like your youth large.
Yeah, I wear an extra medium. So the one free shirt that was an XL I kept is now like a lampshade in my apartment.
Yeah.
So my lamp wears an extra large, but I do not. We've got. Oh yeah, we've also got the Fall Festival put on by UPC that's coming up. Oh, here he is. The Fall Festival put on by UPC. That's coming up on Friday. If you'd like to head on over to the campus green, if you're not making the trip over to Arkansas to watch the Auburn Tigers play the Razorbacks, you can head on over to the campus green on Friday. Festivities kick off at 8 p.m. I think they're watching Hocus Pocus on the big screen to get you in the holiday spirit. Alex might be there protesting. Not a fan of Hocus Pocus, is Alex. Yeah. But he is a fan of other movies. You can listen to that on his podcast, Through the Lens. He's not here, so I'll tell you the name of it. But so yeah, Hocus Pocus is coming up on Friday on the campus green. So check that out. There's also going to be a Pumpkin Palooza, a costume contest, and a zip line. All of this and more over on the campus green Friday, 8 to 11, put on by both UPC and Tiger Knights. Go to @AuburnUPC on Instagram if you want more information about that one. We've also got Auburn Stages is coming up tomorrow evening. We've got Auburn Stages put on by the lovely live events coordinator, Dylan.
Do we know who's going to be playing? Is that what you're checking?
I'm checking right now.
I will say while you're checking, I'm still skeptical about this zip line I've heard about at this UPC event. I want to know what the angle of it's going to be.
I mean, I wouldn't believe it myself if I didn't see that picture of Aubie just with the helmet on, zooming across the sky. All right. Now, if you joined us for WEGL Auburn Stages last time on the 30th, you know Sonic Nation was an absolute
that was a good one.
Blast to out on the Cater lawn, or not Cater lawn, the quad, upper quad. There was, I think I counted like 95 people there at the end of the concert.
It was a good amount.
So great crowd. They got everybody up and dancing. It was like some of the most fun I've ever had at a live event here on campus, and Auburn Stages is pretty much the best event on campus. So get excited for Pierce M. This one's going to be, all right, Davis, do you know where the Wellness Kitchen is?
Yes, over by the Coliseum.
Yes. So if you can imagine that, I'm quite certain that this one is in that area. It's in that grassy area where between the Wellness Kitchen and the Coliseum. You know where Paul Feinbaum sets up his show?
Is that where when we had game day? Is that where Tim Tebow and them were for?
Yeah. It's where SEC Nation sets up.
Okay. So I do know where that is.
So it's
to the right of the Wellness by the parking lot.
Yeah, if you're at the crosswalk, walking over from the baseball stadium to the Wellness Kitchen, just keep on going over towards the Coliseum, and you should be able to find Auburn Stages tomorrow evening. Check that one out. We'll have more information about that one tomorrow as we get closer to the event. We might even have Dylan on the show to get you hyped up about said event as we have Pierce M., and we reach the halfway point of Auburn Stages for this fall semester. But we have acts booked all the way through the 2nd of December. So continue to follow WEGL on Instagram for updates about that and more. All right, WEGL has an exciting WEGL Wednesday of programming coming up today. We've got one more hour at 5 p.m. where Erin plays one more hour of her favorite songs. We've got Happy Days with Jay, 6 p.m. That's Jalen Russell. She's coming on to play some of her favorite songs to put you in a good mood on a WEGL Wednesday. We got 7 p.m. DJ P coming on to turn back the clock with some real deal classic rock, as he likes to say. And the Woodstock Hour, 7 p.m. That one is going to be quite the scene, I hope, unless he's not doing it like he did last week. I got schooled. And then, of course, Cheetah Print, 8 p.m. I know for a fact DJ CD is going to be in here spinning some records as Cheetah Print takes the scene, 8 p.m. Get up and get funky with Cheetah Print and DJ CD. That is at 8 p.m. And then from 9 to 11 after Cheetah Print, we got the rap block. So
yeah,
plenty of great music coming up on WEGL. Just keep the dial right here all day long because you aren't going to want to miss it. All right, I'm going to invite DJP for short, into the booth. And when we come back from a break, we will hear from the illustrious DJ JP about the Woodstock Hour, about WEGL Wednesday, about the new music we got coming up on WEGL, and a whole lot more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more Compact Discourse as we welcome the one and only DJP into the booth with us for a WEGL Wednesday extravaganza. Happy Heyday, Auburn. Go out there, enjoy the fall weather, enjoy Heyday, get your name tag, and have a lovely day. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more Compact Discourse.
In Alabama, the recycling industry employs nearly 11,000 men and women. Recycling just 10% more would create an additional 1,400 jobs and $66 million in personal income. To learn about recycling opportunities in your area, contact the East Alabama Recycling Partnership. Recycling works in Alabama. Brought to you by the East Alabama Recycling Partnership, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hotspot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn.
1 in 5 people in the U.S. have an STD, and many people have no symptoms. Do you know your status? Alabama residents and students attending Alabama colleges and universities can request a free at-home test for chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, and syphilis to be mailed right to your door. Go to adph.mybinks, that's binxhealth.com. Again, it's mybinkshealth.com. The kit is free and confidential. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Public Health, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
.1 WEGL FM, Auburn University.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. Hello, Auburn, or should I say hey, as we are enjoying a lovely heyday here on the campus of Auburn University. I am, of course, your host, Jack Hart, as you can tell by my name tag here on my quarter zip. I'm joined by Davis Carroll and JP Williams, better known as DJP, here on WEGL 91.1 FM, WeGoFM.com, Transistor, Eagle Eye TV, however you're listening to us today. Thank you for spending your Wednesday morning with us here on Compact Discourse. It is, of course, the 13th of October, a lovely mid-October day. We've talked playoff baseball. We've talked all things sports, and we are ready to jump right back into the show with the one and only DJP and Davis Carroll. How you guys doing today? You making it happen?
Yeah, I'm making it happen.
He's making it happen.
I made it here, so.
He made it here.
Did you have any trouble getting here?
Come heck or high water, DJP will make it to a WEGL Wednesday.
No, I mean, there was a good bit of people crossing the street that kind of slowed me down. A fire truck actually was leaving the station as I was passing by it on my way here. So
interesting.
Small delays, but I'm happy to know that there's a fire being put out and that people are using the crosswalk, playing it safe on this lovely heyday morning.
It might be like a cat getting rescued from a tall tree.
I think WEGL should look into having all of us join the fire department.
Nope.
What? Just straight up no?
JP's lungs aren't strong enough to deal with
smoke.
Smoke.
That's true.
Okay.
Come on, Nog. All right.
Come on, man.
Heyday? You were talking about Heyday on your way in. Is it good to be here on a Heyday?
Heyday is honestly one of my favorite days of the year because I was on my way over here and I was thinking about like how Heyday can really kind of change the course of someone's semester, and not in like the most impactful way, but like someone could just have had like a pretty bad fall break, like maybe they stayed in town or maybe something's not going right for them, and then they're on their way to class, and then some random person, they have no idea who they are. They could be just in a great mood. They say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, what's up? Yada, yada, whatever. And, I think that's important because I don't know. I just think it's awesome that we can say what's up to everyone. And it's kind of like the one day that it's normal because I feel like it's not super normal for everyone to just say hey to each other on the concourse, like ever in any context. But I love Heyday.
Not to sound like an old man, but the invention of headphones have really cut down on the day-to-day social interactions we have here on campus.
100%.
And Heyday is a nice break from that, I would say. It's one day a year. Just deal with it.
Walk with your headphones out.
Davis, you going to be a contrarian about it?
No.
Okay.
I like talking to people. If I'm walking with my headphones and someone like looks at me and starts saying something, I'll take them out and start. If they go like taking them out to talk, I wouldn't say I'm as talkative a guy as some people in this room.
Wow.
That wasn't a dig. You're good at telling stories, JP. You know.
Yeah. I like spinning yarn.
He's a man of the people.
I'm not seeking out conversation walking down the concourse, but if someone starts to talk to me, I'm going to talk back
right
to
there.
them. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we are excited about Heyday. If you want to join the festivities over at Heyday, I know I saw Chief Engineer Luke Walker setting up for WEGL's big appearance over at Heyday. That's going to be from 10 to 2 p.m. over on the campus green space. Go ahead. If you're in the area, you want to stop by for a few minutes or a few hours, you can do so. Just drop on by the green space at 10 a.m., and we will be there spinning some tunes. I also saw Bouncy Castle getting inflated. SGA is going to be out there. They got some stuff to throw around, so there'll probably be some cornhole, so a free T-shirt or two, maybe a bottle of water is in it for you. So, yeah, what do you have to lose? Just go say hey to a few people, grab your name tag, and reap the benefits of this wonderful Auburn tradition we are celebrating here today on this 13th of October.
And you can also get your picture taken, like Jack was saying. I was on my way over here and listening to y'all say that, and it is a great way to get yourself in the glom.
If you would like to be enshrined forever in the hallowed spine of the Glomerata, friends of the WEGL, of course, this is a great way to do it. I have a awesome picture with Britt Bowen in the glom from last Heyday. Also, my good friend Henry and Herbert, we're all hanging out with Mr. Bowen in a pretty cool picture. And it's as easy as, you know what? They point and shoot. You tell them your name, and you're in the glom. It's
we'll
easy
have to get a fellas pick there.
We might have to. Might have to post up right after the show today.
Yeah, they'll be out there.
I was going to head over there, yeah.
Luke was saying that they'll be there 10 to 2, so I might throw some music on around 10 and go out there for a quick pick,
Boom.
Now that I got a new hat, I have to take pictures in it.
Could be, yeah. Yeah. Let's do a little hat of the day. What are you wearing?
Hat of the day? JP? Hold on, let me take these headphones off.
Show the folks at home. If you are not privy to this, we do have a video live stream. You can go to our YouTube page, WEGL 91.1 on YouTube. Look for the orange and blue eagle logo, a legacy logo of WEGL. That is our YouTube logo for some reason. But I think it's pretty cool, so we'll roll with it. You can watch our live stream. You can also watch a video on demand. So if you're driving and can't watch that right now, just head on over to the YouTube page and check it out later. Just, come to this segment, and JP will show you his hat.
So
what you got, JP?
Let me get into this hat for a second. So I work up at the AU Club a couple days a week. I'm actually off this week, which is really convenient. But we get new merchandise, whatever, probably every month. And whenever we do, we have to wait 30 days before we're allowed an employee discount. So whenever these hats got delivered over a month ago, I saw it like the moment they got delivered. And it's kind of like a flatter bill, wider brim. It's a rope hat. I've never had a rope hat before. Let me actually put it on camera instead of holding it down here.
Oh, yeah, that's in frame.
Yeah, it's just a cool hat. I saw it, and I've never owned a hat like this, and I wanted it from the moment I saw it go in there. I put it on my head like when it still had all the stuff in it, so it looked cool, but it wasn't my hat yet. And I walked in there yesterday after leaving the dentist office, got my hat, and I'm pretty satisfied because I had been counting down the days because I didn't want them to sell out of these hats, and they still have some more. They got plenty of other hats up at AU Club. Feel free to go up there and check out their hat selection, or you can text me. I think I have a picture of all their hats because I sent them to Hillman. I'd sent it to Hillman. He's like, dude, I'm about to blow my whole paycheck on all these hats.
I think it's got the swinging Aubie logo on the back.
Yeah, it's got a swinging Aubie on the back.
Let's see that thing.
It's pretty nice. Davis was wearing it yesterday.
I know. For some friends of mine on the Auburn golf team, I have spotted some of them wearing that hat as well on a game day. So a new hot commodity. I think it's manufactured by Pucka, which makes a lot of golf hats. My country club hats that I've worked in have come from there. Very high quality hats. And you know what? A rope hat, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I've never had one of these. It reminds me a lot of your Sendero hat.
Mm-hmm.
But does the Sendero have a rope on it?
Yeah, a few of mine do.
Okay. Oh, you have multiple Sendero
I have rope and ropeless.
Okay. Word. Yeah, I think Eshelman has one just like this.
Yeah, E-Man's got one.
The E-Man.
Jack's a hat connoisseur.
Very much
everything
so.
there is to know.
All right, and that was hat of the day. I'm wearing the game hat. It's one of my favorites. It's got the power stripe on the side. When I turn over to look at the computer, you can probably see it.
The power stripe. That's a great way to describe that.
Yeah. Well, it's like an Auburn football helmet. It's pretty cool. I won't get into the gory details to bore everybody here, but we are excited about a WEGL Wednesday. JP, what is we're adding new music to the station? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we're working on music, getting music from the Talisman. We've got a full jazz block. We have a full local block. So I believe Grayson and I are going to hop in here today and go ahead and implement those in the clocks. So now we're going to have, let me actually pull up that schedule on my phone. I don't have it memorized.
I have jazz at 12 to 1 a.m. and local at 12 to 1 p.m. Is that gonna hold?
I am so excited for this jazz music because I got my radio from home. Like I've got this cooler radio, and it's got like really bad quality, but there's something nice about the crackle of it.
Yeah, the lo-fi.
Oh,
that's all the rage.
I can't wait because I normally last year, whenever I would do my show, I would get home and then I would just turn my radio on and listen to WEGL for a little while I'm making dinner, doing homework, playing a video game, whatever. But now I get to listen to Cheetah Print on that thing after I'm done with my show. And then I'll probably just leave it on. I'll probably turn it on around 11 or so and throw it on for some jazz music. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, big changes coming to WEGL, and for the better, I might add. Of course, it is a WEGL Wednesday. We got that killer lineup of afternoon shows starting with One More Hour at 5 p.m. It's Erin's show. 1 more hour of her favorite songs. Happy Days with Jay. That comes on at 6 p.m. That is some happy songs to get you up and moving on a Wednesday, perfect for a heyday like today. Of course, 7 p.m., the Woodstock Hour, Auburn's longest classic rock show. Turn back the clock with some real deal classic rock with DJ P. And then Cheetah Print with DJ CD. Get you up and moving. The Funkalicious show on WEGL. You don't want to miss that one. That one is a ton of fun to make, listen to, and dance to.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's one of my favorite shows now. I love hearing Chris get into character. And, you can't sleep on Smackwater Jack, too.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
He's a pretty funny guy. I think I know that guy, actually.
He's pretty elusive, is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to catch a glimpse of him. All right, we're going to
no comment.
Come on now. We are going to move right along. We're going to hit a quick break. It is about the bottom of the hour, about 9:30. When we come back, we got some NBA news to discuss, including the mysterious Kyrie Irving continues to make headlines. So plenty to get to here on a WEGL Wednesday. Is a heyday, of course, as we've said. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more of the show. I've got GJP and I've got Davis Carroll hanging out with me on this wonderful Wednesday morning. It's a beautiful day outside, so go ahead, take a walk around campus if you haven't already, grab a name tag and say hello to your fellow Auburn family members. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more of the show. Thank you so much for listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM.
These are the moments you remember.
The kick is good! Auburn wins!
These are the sounds you celebrate.
Fastball driven. Deep left center field. David Ross, you have company!
Whether it's the stadium, the arena, or the ballpark.
Auburn 75. Kentucky 70. I think I'll storm the court. There goes Davis. Oh my God.
Your home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green, make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
91.1 WEGL FM, Auburn University.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside DJP, and of course, we've got Davis Carroll.
Hey, you free tonight?
Of course, yes. It is a heyday, and are you free tonight? Because plenty of great shows coming up on WEGL, including the Woodstock Hour. What's coming up on Woodstock Hour tonight, DJP?
We have the I started off with the 90s theme, and then I realized that I have to broaden my horizons from that. So it's a mix of alt-rock, grunge music, 90s. It's just all the stuff that I believe will be classic rock within the next 10 to 20 years.
That's an interesting concept. I dig that.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like there's not really dad rock in here, but I started thinking about this theme whenever I was listening to Green Day. And I was thinking, Green Day is it's dad rock now, so how long is it going to be until it's classic rock? So I'm only playing one Green Day song, but I'm starting it off with Nirvana. Then we got Green Day. I think I got some Pearl Jam in there. But I also threw in a Guns N' Roses song. It's Don't Cry from Use Your Illusion 1, because it was released in the 90s, so it fit the bill for this theme. I've got that. My song of the week is actually You Only Get What You Give, which I think is just a great song. I love the title, everything about it, because, you get, or what you put in, you get out. And that's kind of like the theme of the song. And it's It's one of my favorites. I found it back in March, so it would have been spring, my freshman year, actually, March 2019. I wish I remember where I heard that song for the first time, but I just remember listening to it a lot that semester, so that's kind of why it's my song of the week. Album of the week is the Smashing Pumpkins 1993 album, Siamese Dream, Siamese Dream. I'm not entirely sure how they pronounce it, but they are known for taking a title or a word and kind of changing the letters and maybe the pronunciation. So that's why I'm kind of thrown for a loop as to how to pronounce the name of that album. I'm only playing one song from it, and it's going to be Mayonnaise. That's going to be my closing track. Jeff Deary actually played that song live on WEGL, sitting right over there for the WEGL 50. And when I first heard him do that, I didn't really know what I was hearing. But once I heard the actual song, I heard it for the first time this semester on the Why So Serious show, which is Tuesdays from 5 to 7. I heard it, and I was thinking this kind of really just changed the course of my music taste for a second. Because I'll keep spinning yarn for y'all, but I had this one take about your Spotify liked songs, or if you have Apple Music, I'm sure they have a like songs thing. I haven't used Apple Music in a while, but I believe that your liked songs playlist is like a continuum of your ever-changing music taste.
Great take.
I like talking about that because everyone's music taste really kind of evolves. Well, not everyone's.
Mine might be kind of embarrassing. Let me check.
If you can go to the very beginning. You can like watch how you've changed. I do that sometimes. Just go to the very top or the very bottom. I see how it changed over the past few years.
How many songs do y'all have in your like songs?
How many?
375.
You, Jack?
40. I have 53. I have the entire Thank You Next album somehow in my like songs. So
what?
I don't really use this feature.
Hey man, you like what you like.
What you got, Jake?
I don't even know this album. It's just
throw in.
How did these get in here?
I don't know. Well, like if you go to the bottom of mine, there's like some stuff like that. Like I've got pretty much most of Pink Floyd discography saved. Childish Gambino, I've got all of his music saved. But if you could throw an over-under on what you think mine is, I'm curious.
I'm going to say...
the over-under, I'm going to put it 315.
I'm going to go over on that. Way over.
Like 944.
I was going to say around 700.
I didn't even know there were that many songs.
I mean, Spotify, I think, has a catalog of over 40 million. I think they have either the largest or the second largest next to Tidal, surprisingly enough. Yeah, Tidal has a massive library.
Grayson is a Tidal user.
Yeah, Grayson actually put me on Tidal. I was on there for maybe about 2 months or so, and I realized I just kind of like Spotify more. I think Spotify is just the best one out of all of them. Tidal has its ups and downs, but, they do have the hi-fi quality. They've got, like, the master quality audio, which some people, if your ears aren't, exactly tuned into that, then you might see it as a scam. But if you have like some really nice headphones, you've got the master quality downloaded, you can hear every bit of the recordings in those songs. So that's what I like Tidal for. But, I don't really have the $20 a month to pay for stuff like that. So I'm just going to stick to my Spotify students.
Spotify's awesome.
I think Spotify is a great podcast player. A lot of podcasts, you go down deep in the catalog to listen to something old, and Spotify always remembers your place. That's something I hated about Apple podcast is that you'd always have to scroll all the way back down to what you were listening to, having to remember what you were listening to. Spotify, it's so user friendly, and you can reverse which order they play in. Now, JP, you may not know this about me, but I'm a bit of a disciple of 90s grunge rock. So
I did not know that at all.
I'm very intrigued. One of my first Spotify playlists from back in 2017 is called 90s Rock Redux. I'll send it to you right now.
I saw Smashing Pumpkins. What song is that today?
That's Cherub Rock.
Oh, dude, great song. That's the opening track.
Opener on CMEs. So
phenomenal.
I'm texting it to you right now. But that was like the first when I was like first had agency in my music life. You kind of listen to whatever's on the radio in your parents' car when you grow up. You don't really get to choose what you listen to. But the first time I had agency, as in had a Spotify account. It was 90s rock that I latched onto, and I think I don't know. I'm not going anywhere with this, but I'm excited to listen to Woodstock Hour tonight. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh man,
this is my kind of music.
I'm really looking forward to it. I can actually go ahead and read off that set list. I know I've got it sitting in my phone somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see. We've got In Bloom by Nirvana, which surprisingly is not on WEGL already. I put that one in here today. We had the Sturgill Simpson one in there, but we also have The Man Who Sold the World, the Nirvana cover, When I Come Around by Green Day, and then we have a song by the guitarist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's called Wayne by John Frusciante. I'm going to tell y'all a little story about it on tonight's show. I'm going to save it for right now.
Get your knitting needles, ladies and gents.
Wayne is seriously like, it's a very emotional song. It's got no lyrics, but if you read the story into it that I'm going to tell y'all later on tonight, it really brings out the bread and butter of the song. So I'm looking forward to hearing that on the radio for the first time. Then after we play Frusciante, we're going to play some actual Chili Peppers with By the Way. After that, we're going to take a trip over to England, visiting Oasis with Don't Look Back in Anger. You might have showed me that. I've been trying to figure out where I heard that one for the first time.
I know of that song, and I've been listening to it for a while, but I don't recall showing it to you.
It's a great song. We'll also have My Hero by the Foo Fighters, the live version. We're going to have Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses, and then the ultimate track, or would it be ultimate if it's the last one?
Yeah, ultimate.
Okay.
Penultimate would be the second to last.
Yeah, so the ultimate track, Mayonnaise, Smashing Pumpkins. I think it's going to be a pretty good set list. I'm not going to be doing a pregame show because I believe, Jalen's doing her show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
No Woodstock After Dark due to Cheetah Prince. Who knows? I might throw something on the mix at like 10 o'clock or so. We'll see. But if you want to go check out more of like my 90s music taste, early 2000s, alt, grunge, whatever, I have a playlist on Spotify. It's called Strange Times. If you ever want to talk about why it's called that, you can call in. You can call me. We can talk about it, but it's got a picture of the Cloud Gate in Chicago with the DJP logo. Starts off with You Get What You Give by the New Radicals. It's one of my favorite songs. So I hope you guys want to check that playlist out. It's like 4 hours long, and it's got my favorite 90s music on there. So, yeah.
How about that? All right. We're going to discuss what we've been listening to recently, as I've got two of my most musically inclined friends on the show today. So I'd love to hear what's new in your rotation for the past since the weather's been changing. How have the vibes been changing for your music taste?
Davis, you want to go first?
I'll go. So recently, one of the smaller things I've been listening to on my way to class, I guess, on the way to Compact Discourse every morning, I've been listening to classical music for some reason. I don't know. I was just it was started like 2 days ago, but it felt good. I just felt like hearing Amore mio aiutami, which is a song from a movie, which is really good. It means help me, my love. It's Italian. It's very good. Awesome song. And then I just started playing some others. And it was very zen. Got me in a good headspace for the show on Monday. Also, I've been listening to still a lot of Pierre Bourne. Still been listening to him a lot. Been listening recently to a lot of Outkast. I think, Jack, you said that might be a sneak peek for yours. Well, I've been listening to International Players Anthem a lot, which is an outstanding, is UGK featuring Outkast, which is just a phenomenal song overall, though. Been getting back into Big Crit, but the biggest happening recently for me, there's like a cycle for me. I've been getting back into Spanish music again. I had a while where I listened to it sparingly, but now it's coming all back. Yesterday in the bullpen, I was playing some Vicente Fernandez, some Los Tigres del Norte, some Gypsy Kings, which is my favorite band. It's a flamenco band from Spain. Phenomenal. Makes you want to dance, but also has some songs that make you want to sit there and think. It's awesome. Check them out.
Really makes you think.
If you feel so inclined, that is.
For me,
not DJP.
My two artists, and these two are kind of on the opposite sides of the spectrum, but Krungbin, they are based out of Texas. They have influences from all around the world. They don't do a lot of singing. It's mostly just instrumental, but they are absolutely locked in. Phenomenal bass lines, even better guitar, and their drummer has never missed a beat in his entire life. Okay, that's a lie, but I just really love Krungbin. Their 2015 album, I believe it's called The Universe Smiles on You. That is just a great album. And then the other artist that I've been listening to, Bill Withers. He passed away, March 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Withers has become one of my absolute favorites. His music is really emotional. I absolutely love his music. And then an album that I was listening to last night Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon 1.
The first one.
Oh, dude, I forgot how great that album is. And this kind of loops back into the whole serotonin, like, mental health thing, because that's one of those albums that he really just opens up about his mental health. And, like, good dreams, bad dreams, you really get to see into what's happening in the life of Kid Cudi with that album. So,
how about that? All right, what I've been listening to. All right, this one got implanted in my head during the Penn State game. I just haven't been able to shake it. But Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother, really fun. It's not quite hard rock, but it's getting there. So I really enjoyed that song. I turn it up all the way in my car to get excited for something. It's a very fun song. That whole album is great. I've been listening to it with Chris, who's a big metal fan, so it's a good halfway point for us there. I've been listening to Piano Concerto No. 1 in B-flat by Tchaikovsky. That's been a good... It gets me going. It's a good productive music. It's 20 minutes long, so it's a good 20 minutes is like time to get something done. So just you can use it to time yourself. Get ready for bed in 20 minutes. Get up in 20 minutes. Put on some Tchaikovsky. Enjoy the day. Of course, Brooks and Dunn, as always. That's my walking around music sometimes. Of course, Brooks and Dunn, and I listened to Huey Lewis in the News this morning. I was feeling something upbeat.
Hip to be square.
Hip to be square. Power of Love. Back in Time. I needed Huey this morning.
Let's see Jack's music taste.
That was me. Yeah.
The subtle off-white coloring. The raised letter.
Hey, Paul. All right. We're gonna have to hit a quick break, but I want to thank DJP and Davis for hanging out with me in the studio today. We're talking music. If you have some music takes you want to share, you can go ahead and call in 334-844-9345. If you got a request of something you want JP to play later on today, he can take that as well. 334-844-WEGL on your touchtone keypad. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more Compact Discourse. We're hanging out here on a WEGL Wednesday. Plenty of great shows coming up later on. Keep that dial right here on Compact Discourse and WEGL. We got 15 more minutes in the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our nation and our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready to face the dangers of Mother Nature and protect our homes and our neighbors. We will always be there when your community needs us the most. Discover more about all the ways you can serve part-time in your community by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Alabama's companies know people need to feel safe at work. That's why Alabama Works has partnered with agencies across the state to provide access to everything from CDC guidelines to the latest in on-the-job safety innovations. At alabamaworks.com, you're one click away from what you need to know to get to work safely. Work safe, be safe. Your new success story is at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Alabama veterans. Are you aware that because of your military service you may have earned VA benefits? The Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs can help you access those benefits at no cost to you, even during COVID-19 when other resources might be hard to find. The Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs has an office near you. For more information, go to va.alabama.gov or give us a call at 334-242-5077. We're open and ready to serve you. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs, the ABA, and this station.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is FM 91.
WEGL Auburn.
Call it. Call it, yes. For a whole lot. Just call it.
switch.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. Still got a little bit of time left before they kick us out of here today, so let's have some fun. I'm Jack Harlow, joined alongside DJP and Davis Carroll. Thank you for joining us this fine Wednesday morning on this payday here on the campus of Auburn University, where it is a sunny 69 degrees outside, welcoming you into the show. Thank you for spending your Wednesday morning with us here on WEGL. Plenty of great content coming up on the Superstation today, the Big 91 as we like to call it. That's 91.1 FM. Keep it right here all day long. As soon as we get out of here, we got 2 hours of rock music coming up, including requests from the one and only DJP. We got some awesome music coming up later on in the day, starting off with one more hour at 5 p.m. with Aaron, Happy Days with Jay at 6, Woodstock Hour at 7 p.m., 90s Grunge Rock Special, and Cheetah Print coming on at 8 p.m. So just keep that dial right here all day long. You won't regret it. JP?
Make sure to leave that dial right where you left it. I just enjoy saying that. But if you do have any requests, feel free to call in at 334-844-9345. I'll go ahead and throw in one of my words of the day, words of the week. It is sublime, and we are not talking about the 90s band.
We're talking about the transition from a solid to a gas. That's sublimation.
No, that's not actually the definition.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, sublime, like I found this word over the summer because there was I think it was an Enlightenment writer or a philosopher.
You getting it?
I'm not sure which one it was.
No, it's the Enlightenment. You got it.
He was talking about like writing or art that is sublime, and sublime, defined by Oxford Languages, is an adjective for of such excellence, grandeur, or beauty as to inspire great admiration or awe.
Feeling sublime? Are you feeling sublime today?
I mean, not exactly.
Can you feel sublime?
No. You are sublime is a characteristic of which you are awestruck. So this is a tenet, a core tenet of Enlightenment writing. You got the great Enlightenment thinkers, including Lord Byron, who the great English poet. If you want to read Childe Harold's Pilgrimage.
Didn't he die young?
He is dead.
I'd hope.
Let me look. Lord Byron. Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. If you want to read Canto 3 of that one, it is a great piece of Enlightenment writing. It has really great exploitation of the use of sublime. It is being just so overcome and awestruck with nature that you are enraptured by it. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is another great piece of Enlightenment writing that has the concept of the sublime just baked into it, and it's very tied closely into nature. So it's just, being awestruck by nature. You probably felt it the most memorable time I felt it is, the first time you look over the bowl of the Grand Canyon.
See, that's something I can't wait to do.
You cannot comprehend how big it is.
Yeah.
And you are just struck by the power of nature. So, and that was big in the zeitgeist back in the Enlightenment period. So that's a great word. I think, let me think. Poe is another. Edgar Allan Poe is a good American writer. If you want, he kind of puts a twist on it in the negative connotation, which sublime. It's awe-inspiring, but it's also nature's powerful and it can kill you. So that's the direction Poe goes. Into the Maelstrom is a great piece of Poe writing if you want to explore deep into the sublime.
And there's another piece that actually comes all the way back from the Greek and Roman era. It's called On the Sublime. It is said that they don't know who the author is, but what I'm looking at right now says Cassius Longinus. But can you think of other moments like Jack was saying where you just felt awestruck by something? Because whenever I was in St. Peter's and seeing some of the other churches over in Rome, I was definitely awestruck by the sheer size and beauty and just the detail of some of the things in those buildings. Other moments, places, things like that you can think of, Davis?
When I went to Germany back in my sophomore of high school summer, we went to the border of Austria and Germany, into the mountains, and we ate beside a beautiful lake. And I went to the edge of the lake, and I looked up, and there was just snow-capped mountains. It was one of the most beautiful things. I took a picture of it. I think it got deleted from my phone somehow, but it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I would say it was quite sublime.
How about a subliminal song, something? I guess
is
it's
subliminal
kind of
from
back
sublime.
into, Huh?
Does subliminal come from sublime?
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
They're all kind of similar.
But like a subliminal message is something that's like planted into your head.
As the etymology police here, I will look into it. No, it comes from English sub Latin lemon, meaning below. So.
Yeah, so it's like a hidden message.
Yeah, hidden message. Different word. All right,
it's understandable.
But
that
like a song that gives you like goosebumps the first time you heard it.
Yeah, either that or really something that can give you a goosebump anytime you hear it.
Like I got one. From the movie If Beale Street Could Talk, the main theme, Agape. I remember I was driving home one time and it started playing like full volume. I was just overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. I will say, if I'm listening to on a really good sound system, if I hear "Wish You Were Here,"
yeah,
that gets to me.
Great example. I'm actually going to throw in another Pink Floyd song.
Hit it.
Poles Apart. That's one I played it last. Actually, I didn't do my show last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that, I played it. Poles Apart is one from the 1994 record, The Division Bell, and it's one that not a lot of people have heard of, but it's just a guitar solo really gets me every time. But another one that I'll mention from a movie that I know that this one really can do it to everyone. It's pretty relatable, but Time, Hans Zimmer, like in the end of Inception, that one will really makes you think.
No Time for Caution.
No Time for Caution.
That was also
That's
very
another
good
great one. Yeah, Hans Zimmer is a master of doing stuff like that.
All right, Lord Byron died when he was 36 after contracting a fever during the War of Greek Independence.
People back then were so weak. Couldn't handle a fever.
They didn't have
I've got the
medicine.
consumption.
Take a Tylenol, Lord Byron.
Fever.
His daughter,
You're just hot.
Ada Lovelace, went on to be one of the mothers of computer science. So
Interesting.
he lived a pretty good legacy.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Lord Byron also was hanging out around the Alps area. You were talking about Davis. That was inspired a lot of his sublime writing. Sublime's already.
I understand. It was
Sublime's already an adjective. So
it was awe-inspiring.
Awestruck.
I was awestruck.
There you go. You got any other words for us, JP?
Let me go take a look at my notes. Hold on. Let me scroll all the way down. We already talked about serotonin. The other two words, I didn't really have time to define them. I heard them on a podcast.
Let's see if we can guess them.
To Auburn, but neurotic.
Yeah.
Neurotic. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but I heard it in a podcast, and I was like, I kind of like that word. I like how
it means
the
I'll always.
I think it has a negative connotation.
Yeah, if someone's neurotic, they're like jumpy. They're kind of crazy off the wall. Is what I understand it as.
It's related to neurosis,
Yeah.
which is defined as a relatively mild mental illness that is not caused by organic disease, but involves symptoms of stress, depression, anxiety, and hypochondria, but is not a radical loss with reality. So it's, being on edge, and being neurotic is acting a little on edge.
Okay. Another one, Anthropology, and not the store, but like the actual
like the
study
with a Y, not with a
With
GIE.
Y. No, with the
Jack
Y.
and I took anthropology last year.
We did.
It's a study of human development, human culture. Is one way to think of it.
That's kind of what we do here on Compact Discourse, is we kind of get to the root of things. We're amateur anthropologists. At least me and Grayson are. We try to figure things out.
It goes well with epistemology, which is one of my words like a few weeks ago. And the last one, my last word is incel. Because I heard that word and I was like, okay, where does this come from? And what it comes from is it's like a shorthand version of someone who is involuntarily celibate, meaning they can't get a date, like at all. I don't really want to get more into that, but I made a joke about how, since I like watching shows like Rick and Morty, how at one point I would quote it enough that I was a quote unquote Rick and Morty incel, or like people that are Joe Rogan incels that you pick it up what I'm putting down.
I guess.
I don't think you understand the full scope of incels.
I don't think I do.
I think
they're a little more crazy than that.
Part of this is just getting educated. If you encounter that word, you'll know how to handle it from now on. Thanks to JP. So I think that's just just about do it. We didn't get to talk about Kyrie Irving, but we'll probably punt that to tomorrow when we talk sports for most of the day. We'll probably have Alex Davis and maybe even Jacob Hillman joining us on the show to talk sports tomorrow. JP, what are your plans for today? You DJing? You heading to Heyday? What's up?
I'm going to play some music from 10 to 12. I might not be in the studio the whole time because I want to go get my name tag. I want to go say hello to some passerby on the concourse. I would just love to say what's up to someone. Like if I see someone looking down at their phone or they're just looking like they're having a slow morning, I want to say, hey, what's up? I hope you have a great day. And like Jack always says, go 1-0.
What's up, Auburn?
What's up, Auburn? You're
Yep.
listening to the
Davis, what's on tap for you today?
Got my class at 11. I'm probably going to head over to Heyday after this, before my class, and then probably head back over there after my class. But other than that, nothing much.
Good deal. All right. Once again, thank you for listening to Compact Discourse. Thank you to DJP and Davis for joining me in the studio today. Once again, thank you so much for listening to this exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. Whether you are listening on your terrestrial radio antenna, by listening, or on the internet, WeGoFM.com. Thank you for doing so. We'd like to remind you that all of our previous episodes are available as a podcast, absolutely PSA break free, wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Compact Discourse. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CDiscAU for links to that podcast, information about the show, and important updates. You can also tweet at us to get your voice on the show. Join the conversation. We are, of course, Auburn's only student-run morning show. You can follow the station at WEGL on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at the same handle, WEGL_AU. That's WEGL_AU. We got a super hard-working team of marketing professionals working super hard to provide you high-quality content for fans of the station. And with that, for Jack Hart, DJP, Davis Carroll, this has been Compact Discourse. We'll be back for the finale tomorrow, 8 a.m. Don't go anywhere. This is Jack Hart signing off. And as always, War Eagle, go 1-0. Have a great heyday, Auburn. We'll see you tomorrow.
I feel completely recharged.